Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit, in conjunction with Legally Armed in Detroit, presents Personal Protection Tips. This is a regular feature that we run on social media to help educate and edify our fellow citizens about ways that they can take on a more active role in their protection. In each episode, we deliver one personal protection tip that we discuss that you can use almost immediately. Before we get started with today's personal protection tip, I want to welcome you to our page on YouTube. Please take a look around. You'll see that we have over 2,000 videos. Many of them are dedicated to personal protection and self-defense. So if that is your interest, please check out that section. We have tons and tons of info to have you lead a more safe and productive life. While you're there, please take a second to like our videos. Press the like button. Forward these videos, send them over to your family and friends, those people that you feel that could benefit from this personal protection info. And also, consider subscribing to our channel. We publish a lot of content free of charge, and it is for your safety. So let's go ahead and talk about today's personal protection tip. Today's personal protection tip is to deploy a scarecrow at your residence. As many of you are aware, many people in rural communities such as farmers, they have a problem with crows and other birds that excuse me, that infest their plantings. These birds come down and they eat the seeds and sometimes eat the fruit of the plants that are growing. So many years ago, and God knows how long it was, a very enterprising farmer came up with the idea of having something out in the field that would give the vermin, the pests, reason to believe that a live human was there. And so was born the concept of a scarecrow. The farmer took some pants and a shirt and supported it with sticks and rods and put hats and clothes such as shirts and pants and shoes on this scarecrow. And if you can look at the etymology of the word scarecrow, the whole purpose of this device was to scare the crows, to keep them from stealing the crops. So today's personal protection tip follows in that vein. A scarecrow, when deployed on your personal property, it gives the criminals and the bad guys the idea or the sensation or the feeling that your home is occupied. Now, don't think the idea is lost on me that there are some bad guys who are bold enough to come into your home uninvited even though you're there. I'm talking about the class of criminals who, if they suspect that the home is occupied, that they will not enter. And it is those criminals that we have in mind with this personal protection tip. So I'm going to run through my list of things that you can do to scare away someone who has thoughts of breaking into your home. The very first thing that comes to mind is a doorbell app. There's an app out there, and I'm not going to give them free publicity and free promotion, but you can find it on the App Store, and it works in conjunction with a physical camera. You can actually deploy this camera at your front door, and then you could remotely answer your doorbell. Imagine not being at home and someone comes up to your property, they come to your front door, and you being notified by this app that someone is on your property, or maybe they will knock on the door or somehow otherwise make themselves known, and you can remotely answer your front door as if you're home. Of course, we know some bad guys, they want to survey your property and make sure no one's there before they break in. So yeah, this is an excellent solution. Motion activated lighting is also a great idea. You know, the mere fact that lights come on, particularly especially at night, can be rather startling to bad guys when they come onto your property. I remember years ago when I lived over in another part of town. I remember that it was after dark, and this one guy came onto my property, and he was doing something, and somehow the lights came on, and he startled, and he actually jumped, and he tripped over one of those paving bricks that I had on my property and made quite a ruckus. And as I was investigating through the window, I was asking him, what the heck was he doing? I mean, he was actually trying to hide in the bushes because the lights had startled him so. And that told me right there that this guy had bad intentions. I mean, if anyone was walking by my property and the lights came on, you know, through the motion activated sensor, they wouldn't start jumping in the bushes. So this guy obviously had some bad thoughts and bad deeds in mind, and that motion activated light worked like a charm. You also may want to consider putting your lights on a timer. Obviously, if you're away from your home and you have your lights on during the daytime, you're obviously wasting electricity. If you put your lights on a timer, and you can get these things at any hardware store, it's an interface in between the plug of your lamp and your actual outlet, and you can actually set the time on which this light will automatically come on and go off. I think that is a really cool thing to have. Another thing that you can do to simulate occupancy of your home if you're not there is to have some appliances on. Have the radio and the TV on. Have the radio on in the back room and have the TV on in the den. You know, have it at a sufficient volume that someone who, if they were at your front door or your back door, they could at least hear the radio and or the TV, and the thought may come into their mind that the home is occupied, and they will proceed on to find some other home to invade. You also want to consider having stickers. You know, stickers are great. You know, these stickers, you know what, we're just interested in planting seeds of doubt in the bad guy. You could have this home has an alarm, have an alarm system sticker, or you could have a beware of dog sticker, or National Rifle Association sticker, or those ominous stickers I've seen people have that states, "We do not dial 911." Man, I'm telling you, that's a very ominous sight to see on a sticker. Also, you want to give the impression that your home has been visited recently. You may want to make sure that your mailbox is empty and that flyers from the solicitors are not hanging from your door. If you're typically not at home when these canvases go through your neighborhood, you may want to ask a good trusted neighbor if they would take these things down while you were at work and retrieve them from the neighbor later when you're back at your home. Other things that bad guys don't like. Bad guys don't like dogs. So if you have a dog that preferably makes a lot of noise when it's jumping up and down on the door, or has a really large bark, that would definitely come in handy. And there's nothing to prevent you from having stickers saying beware of dog. And you could even go the extra added mile and have a chewed up dog food bowl on the front porch. Of course, security cameras, whether real or fake, also serve as a good deterrent. And my personal favorite is to leave my size 12 work boots on the front porch by the front door. This has been another installment of Rick's Firearm Academy of Detroit's and Legally Armed in Detroit's personal protection tips.